Hello you, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are in the world. It's Saturday, October the 6th, it's almost 2019 now, isn't it? 2018. Welcome to our almost weekly update. With me is Kate. Hello, Kate. And my beloved Amy. Eric is on a very important task, and we've told him to carry on working through the update. So you're going to see him kind of clicking and tapping away. He's got his microphone turned off. But as I've said before, Eric has this strangely intense fan group around the world, and they just his presence is as comforting, it seems, to everyone, to you guys out there as it is to us. So we did a written only update last week, and I'm just gonna. Very strange thing happened. I was talking about different types of products and services, and I mentioned an airline that went out of business 3 days after I sent out the update, which is pretty remarkable. But nevertheless, the business model that I was talking about in there, which is of offering a kind of a base product with add-ons, is still the movement of the entire airline industry over the last few years. So I apologize. Luckily, the airline in question, because I used them recently, got me there and back, but some people never got back. They went off on Sunday and they never got to come back. So anyway, moving swiftly on from that, the week before I was actually away on that trip, and so we didn't do an update. So with thanks and apologies for not doing a video for a couple of weeks, let's get on with it now. Ladies, what are we going to do? We got some questions. Oh no, I also want to give you a quick update. We're still working on the prototypes. We made a decision about a week ago to switch suppliers on one. It's going to cost us a little bit of time, but we were not. You need to have partners who are like leaning hard into whatever it is that you're doing. P3 are like that. I talk about them all the time. P3, they're our main partner. You've seen their stuff in Home Depot, and they've been around for 30 years. But they work with manufacturing partners overseas, and one of them was just not pulling their weight. We've switched it to another much more aggressive, much more enthusiastic supplier who's going to get things moving much more quickly for us. But they're a little bit like Sean, our chief engineer, describes them as being a little bit like a kind of a wild. Like a wild racehorse, where it's kind of like this incredible power and talent, but you kind of need to control them a bit. And I think that's great. It's bringing some fantastic, fresh, new energy, and we'll tell you more about that when we've got more to tell. So, what questions have we had coming in, folks?
Well, last week we did a few social posts about our MAGFAST Life product because people have been asking questions.
Yes.
So, I would say first talk about the features and why we love it so much.
Yeah, I mean, life in if you remember our kind of introductory presentation where I go through the whole thing, we kind of start with life to explain like what's the heart of the whole system, because the notion of the whole of MAGFAST, right, is I felt like every other product out there was asking you to compromise in some way. In other words, you had to use an adapter, or you had to do this, or you had to do that, or you have wireless but it doesn't have wireless, or it doesn't, it only has wireless. So what we tried to do was we tried to say, well, what would the kind of the ultimate charger be like that you can carry around with you? And we developed a feature set that's encapsulated in life as the sort of as the starting point, and then the other products have this feature set, but sometimes they add one or for their particular circumstance. So first of all, there's 4 ways of getting power in, 5 ways of getting power out, and that's essentially the main feature set. So 4 ways of getting power in. My goodness, what are those 4 different ways of getting it in? Well, there's the way that you get power into. It's the least good way, but everybody has these micro USB cables, so we allow you to put power in through the micro USB in the bottom, right? Okay, so that's number one. The first way, I should say, it's not the best way, but the first way of getting it is the one that you're used to. So you don't need any other equipment. You could just buy this and plug it in like you do any other charger. So we're compatible in that way, right? The second way is we have this the cable that goes in here, and the cable itself plugs in with USB-C. So you can take the cable out and plug in a USB-C, which is the next generation of cables, in there and get power in that way. So that's 2 ways of getting power in. Right, the third way of getting power in, which is very, very unusual, right? There are various power banks like this that allow you to take power out wirelessly, but it's very rare to have one that allows you to take power in wirelessly. If you've got a wireless charging pad like this, okay, you can just place it on top like that and it will charge. Okay, so we've now got 3 ways of getting power in. And the fourth way of getting power in is, of course, that you can just snap it straight onto your MAGFAST wall like this, or indeed any of our other power banks, because you can, if one's running low, you can snap them together like this and have one power the other. You can move charge from one to the other like that. So 4 ways of getting power in. Getting power in isn't so exciting, but it is kind of essential if you're ever going to get the power out. Folks are much more excited about the different ways of getting power out. So let's start with wireless, okay, because the wireless is the future. Okay, so there's 1. Right, you've also got a USB-C outlet in there, 2. Okay, you've also got the USB-C outlet there, 3. Yes? Yes, yes, yes? Am I counting correctly here? Well, I've said wireless was 1. USB-A, USB-C, there we go, we're up to 3. You can also then get power out using the MAGFAST connection, right? Like that, as I described. You can move it into one of our others, I actually don't have air here, but air's our wireless that you can just put on like that. So you can get power out that way. 4, and then of course there's the wireless tip, which I guess is it's kind of not really a 5th way, is it? It's a bit of a cheat because it's using USB-C. There's this beautiful built-in cable. This is an old model, that's why it's slightly yellowed. Yours are going to be beautiful, shiny white. So that's the main feature set. We don't know of anyone else who even comes close. I mean, you may remember in the main presentation, I show like you have to put 2 or 3 other products together to get anywhere close, and then you've spent way more money and you've got a mess on your hands. So we're really, really proud of that. And then that feature set goes through to Rode, right, which adds the ability to plug in into your cigarette adapter, and it also adds a flashlight on the end, and Extreme, of course, which is as you know has gotten bigger and got the bump on it now to hold more power, but Extreme has everything that you've just seen, but adds the ability to jump start your car, or in fact now jump start your truck up to 5 liters. Yeah, so there's the cool feature there.
There are people who ask about use cases. So, for instance, when would they use Life versus Life Extreme? You want to speak to that?
Sure. It's really how big is the job. I mean, Life is the smaller one, goes in your pocket, your purse, your briefcase, and it's kind of smaller, easier to carry around, lighter. It's got, a handful of charges for your smartphone. It'll depend on the size of your smartphone, but it's got a handful of charges. We call that kind of like the everyday one, the Life that I showed you just now. Life Extreme, the big one, it's bigger and heavier. It's like it's certainly not something you'd ever put in your pocket, and it would weigh down your be quite a thing to be carrying around the whole time. So maybe you have that in your car, or you take it with you when you're traveling for special occasions. It carries a lot more power. So it's bigger and heavier, and it can jumpstart your car, but probably for everyday use, when you just want to boost your regular phone, you want to be carrying around the smaller one.
Great. Another question that we often get are people who order their free wall charger would like to know if they can piecemeal order the Life.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I just want to stress, we get if you are watching this and you're one of the folks who's getting the free wall, we love you as much as everyone else. You're an important part of the family. But I do notice that sometimes the folks who've ordered the free one actually didn't hear quite so closely all of the details. The wall, this is because we say, come along, attend the presentation, give us your opinion, and we'll give you a free wall charger. The charger is part of the main system. It's a full-on, super high quality. Like this giveaway is part of the same high quality system. This isn't some junk. People are so used to like a free offer, and they get some piece of junk in the mail, kind of a week later. Oh, join this society, and we'll send you a shitty charger with our name on the side of it that costs almost nothing to make. They buy it for a couple of dollars. You know, they print their name on it for $0.25 and send it off to you. Right? This is not that. The charger you're getting is the full MAGFAST wall charger, super high quality, you know, world-class electronics. Quick Charge 3.0. It's like it's the bedrock of the entire system. You could say it's certainly the one that you plug into the wall. So this thing is amazing, and it's being built alongside and developed alongside all of the others. It's not shipping now, right? We never promised to ship anything right away. We always said, come and check out, give us your opinion on this thing that we're building, and then you get this in the future. And I just want people to understand this. It's like. We're not going to stop until we've built something incredible here, and we're going to take the time that it takes to do it. And you're going to be it's going to be the first charger you've ever had that you're thrilled to have it in your life, and 4 years later you're still going to be thrilled to have it because we're building it to that quality. There's no point in doing this unless that standard is unimpeachable. So if you're getting a free wall, that's the standard. You're getting the same standard as everything else, and it ships with everything else next year. All right, I'm sorry, and I've completely forgotten the question, Amy, which was, can you buy accessories separately? Yes, when you attend the presentation, there's a moment when we say, okay, now you can, if you want to back us by getting a pro kit, click on this button. And if you want to, if you're not ready to do that, just want to get the wall for now, then as you get the wall, there are various accessories that you can add on, and absolutely you can add on a life. We actually pre-select one or two of the ones we think people often want. You can turn those, you can remove those, you can add more, you do whatever you want, including, yes, from the original question, MAGFAST Life.
Also, you can write to us if you change your mind and decide you want to add more products, and we'll be happy to help you in customer service. And right before we ship, we'll be sending out a final checkout email upon which you can also add things to your order.
Oh yes, that's an important part of. So I'm trying to. There we go. Yeah, so it's an important part of it that you'll be able to finalize your address. You'll be able to finalize everything about the order at that time. And it's one of the important projects. One of the reasons we don't allow Eric to look up from his keyboard is that he needs to finish what he's doing now, because building this experience for people that you'll be using, you know, when we're shipping, is a very important part of it. We want you to be clear about what you've got, clear about the options to add things on. And by the way, if you've never worked and built a website before, it's astonishingly complicated to make things easy to understand and navigate. There's no excuse for big companies with bad websites, but I will tell you that we're working on a form at the moment. It's what Eric's actually working on right now. For when people very first book in to come and see the presentation. So if you've done it, you may remember it's going to like choose a time of day, and then it's just first name. What else is it? Then it's email. All right, and then if people want to, they can give us their cell number so we can text them a thing. And just this, which is about as simple as any web form can be, we're several weeks' work now into improving it and upgrading it, because we're trying to make it. You know how frustrating it is when, you know, you sign up for something and nothing comes and nothing comes and nothing comes. Usually it's because you made a mistake typing in your email address. So we've now hooked this up to a service that checks the email address, not just to make sure it has an @ sign in, but to make sure that it exists. If you type in, people often type gmail.com, right, by mistake. And now it'll come back and say, did you mean? Right, it's going to say, "Did you mean?" and show you a different version, you know, adding the L into Gmail. But doing all of this stuff and still keeping it simple to use is it's really hard to do. So that's why Eric's not looking up from his keyboard right now. I digress. Next question, please.
We have a couple supporter questions.
Sure.
The first one is from Lisa. I ordered a pro kit under the 6-payment plan, but I've since decided that I'd like to pay in full. Can I do that?
Absolutely. Yeah, just hello@magfast.com. Let us know what you are. And you are looking right now at Kate, and now you're looking at Amy. Sanya isn't here today, but they're the folks who'll help you out with this. This is who you get to speak to in customer service. They're fantastic.
Okay, our second question is from John. What do I need to do to become a dealer or distributor of your products?
You know what? We're not doing dealer distributor stuff for now. It's the kind of obviously the traditional model of how goods are distributed. The model that many of the most successful companies are using at the moment is what's called DTC, direct to consumer, where you sell online only from your own site, maybe from Amazon as well. And then we're able to much better control the relationship with the customer. That said, thank you very much for your enthusiasm, sir, which is fantastic. And we are going to have an affiliate program. So for folks who are agile on the web, including just anybody, I mean, anybody who's watching this, we will give you an affiliate code. And if you want to let people know what we're doing, share, post and so on, we'll have a special link that you can get credits and stuff. And I know we've been talking about it for a while. It is just one of those things where we need to, we're a small team and we need to choose when we roll things out. And that's a piece that we've done a lot of the work on it, but there are other more important things to crack at the moment. And we've got this very intense focus on finally getting these prototypes out and one or two other changes. So we will unveil to you the affiliate referral program in the fullness of time. All right.
Okay, next we have some fan mail.
That's
and
nice.
This one comes from Craig. He says, please keep up the weekly updates. I've stopped backing other ventures because they didn't do this. I've been burnt a few times, but your promo video grabbed my interest, especially the part about updates, because now I usually wait till there's product that comes to the market. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Well, my goodness, that warms the cockles to get that one, isn't it? Thank you so much for the expression warms the cockles of my heart. Maybe it's a British expression. Warms the cockles of my heart, my darling. Warms the cockles of my heart. But putting on doing this thing weekly. The truth is, it's a pain in the junta. It really is. It takes time. We have to put. I mean, it takes an astonishing number of hours to put out this small thing. Even as you can see, it's done. We record it pretty quickly and spontaneously, but the actual work involved then in taking the video and cutting it down and posting it here and posting it there and putting it on the website. It winds up taking. We wrote out a whole protocol of all of the steps it takes, and there's like 30 steps or something, and someone has to sit there and do every single one, and so thank you for that. We think that it's important. It's a huge, by backing us, you've done something really, really extraordinary, which is to trust us to go through with this process. And it seems to us like, and it takes a long time. It takes longer than we expect, which means it takes 100 times longer than you would expect it to take. And we just think the least we can do is to show you the whole time that we're here, we're answering your questions. Kate and Amy and Sanya, who's not here today, are there on customer service the whole time, and we're here for you, and we're here. We're going to make something great. We're going to be here for us. We're going to do whatever it takes to bring it here. But we think the weekly updates are a really important way of showing you our commitment, even though actually we'd love to have the time doing other things, but we just think it's an important thing to show up every week. So I really appreciate you saying that. So yes, we don't know of any other crowdfunding, any other campaign that takes the trouble to do it. I mean, I have something I'm waiting for from a crowdfunding campaign at the moment, and it's been a very long time, and it's their second time. It's like version 2 of the product. And man, I'd be surprised if all year I've had 3 or 4 emails from them, maybe. And they're not bad. I mean, they're a great team. I'm just saying in terms of communication, I think that we're trying to, we're aiming to be the best in the world at the things that we do. That's what we're trying to do. And I think we hit that mark sometimes, and we're very grateful to you for pointing out where we don't. All right. If there's nothing else, we'll just remind folks of the email address, Kate, which is
hello@magfast.com.
hello@magfast.com. And send them in anytime. Just give us a little bit of time to reply. People often email at 2 o'clock in the morning and then send a kind of ballistic email at 4 o'clock in the morning if they haven't heard back. You're looking at the people who do this. We're real people who need sleep. So be kind to us, and I promise that we'll do everything that we can to look after you. Oh, I'm just going to mention one thing that popped in and out of my head earlier on. I can't remember what was triggering it, but we have a web page up at magfast.com/trust-safety that talks about, I think there's 10 or something. It's not quite a dozen yet, but there's 10 items listed on there that are things that we're doing, programs that we're in, that are designed to make sure that you're safe on our website, that you're safe as a customer, that the products you get are going to be incredible, that they're going to be genuine. It's like, if you go there and look at it, you can have very little doubt as to the commitment of the team sitting in front of you. So that's it. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.